Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to the OurMFC channel. Hope you've all had an amazing week. I know us as Boro fans have certainly. I'm joined by Matty today. There's no Ben, unfortunately, but Matty's here. How's it going, Matty? You all right?
All right, mate. Yeah, going well. Going well.
Good, good. Like I said, it's been a good week for us, hasn't it? There's been quite a lot going on. There's
Absolutely.
actually, since we've been doing these interviews and stuff, we've got a lot of news to come back to, which is always good.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, God, we're not going to go into the linked players today. We were going to do that,
Oh,
but the amount of players that
we'd be
we've
here
been
all
linked
night.
to, God,
We'd be
we
here all
we,
night. I wouldn't get
we
up in the morning.
certainly would. We'd be here all night. So we'll skip all of that and we'll give you the confirmed stuff. So the first bit, like I said, talking in the last week, was Johnny Howson signing a new 1 year contract.
Yep.
Now that has got to be, I would say, probably one of the best signings that we'll make this summer, or one of the most important signings that we'll make. He was vital to us last year, wasn't he? And he was one of them that, you know, he never stopped. I think, well, I've mentioned it countless times. I'm still shocked at the fact that he was one of our oldest players in the team, yet he played the most minutes, which shows like how important he was and like is
Mm.
to the Borough side. And yeah, just his presence on and off the pitch. I know people say he's not much of a talker and he was captain, but his way of captaining is, leading by example. And that's what he brings to the team. That's, his experience. We'll get on to one of our other signings that's more going to be more of a talker, more of a leader. Um, but yeah, what did you make of that signing? The news when that broke.
I think that we just need to look at last season to just see how crucial he is for us, and to see how important of a player he is to this side. And I'm sure that all Borough fans were delighted when they saw that he'd put pen to paper on the 1 year deal extension. I I've always said as well. I think we said in the awards video that we did that I think so. He was always a shout for player of the season. He's definitely I don't mean this in a rude way, but like for his age, like for a footballer, he doesn't half run around a bit.
He does,
He,
doesn't
he doesn't
he?
half get around. Yeah, he doesn't half get around, and for a player of his at this point in his career, you can't not respect that. The way he gets around, and we saw in his interview the other day after he said that he had signed that extension. He said that he wants to help Borough move forward and get us back to the Premier League and stuff. I think when you have that attitude, especially when you're a captain, I think he's going to be crucial again next season. I think he's going to have another great season. So yeah, he was a crucial player for us last season. I think we can all breathe a sigh of relief now that we know that we've got him for at least another year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like we've just said there, I think going forward, he is going to be a key player. I mean, he had such an impact in the squad. And when he wasn't in the team, we knew that he wasn't in the team because, I mean, that was one of our faults last season, not having someone that could fill his role when he wasn't in the team. And you really, really felt that impact when like I say, when he wasn't in it. So
Mm.
yeah, he's going to be crucial player next season, especially with the five subs obviously being introduced as well. So yeah, it leaves room for, like I say, a bit of leeway there. But then, I mean, moving on, signed. Obviously, there's been a lot of movement, like outgoings, in terms of the goalkeeping department. But one of our incomings, obviously, Joe Lumley went on loan to Reading, so we brought in Northampton goalkeeper Liam Roberts on a 2 year contract. Now he's
Mm.
27 years old, but I mean, I had this discussion with a couple of people saying, "Oh, wanted a young, promising keeper, and this, that, and the other." And I said, like, you've got to think for a goalkeeper in their prime. If you think about it, it's always between 27 to 32. That is when a goalkeeper is in their prime.
Mm.
Them 5 years of them hitting real form. I mean, you talk about a normal player. You think of a 27-year-old. They're maybe going really well and they're still in the prime. But then, when they creep around the 30 mark, that's when they start to tail off. But
Yeah.
keepers nowadays they're going to like the 40s. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're pretty indestructible. I mean, just getting a couple of awards that he won last year. For anyone questioning the quality that he does bring to the side, he was the Player of the Year, like for
Mm.
Northampton. He was the Northampton's Players Player of the Year. He was in the PFA League Two Team of the Year. In 45 appearances, he made EFL appearances. He made 21 clean sheets. Now, 21 clean sheets in a season for any division, that's brilliant stats. Really, really good stats. And the awards that he's won there shows the quality that he does bring. And obviously, coming from League Two, people are questioning it and stuff. But he's got there his interviews. He's got the ambition. He wants to fight for it. I think, like you said, we've spoken about before. We crave any player that comes in that's passionate, that wants to do well, just help the club. And he was so buzzing, wasn't he? He was loving it. He was laughing
Oh, yeah.
forward.
Yeah, I think that you're always going to get a few doubters and a few people who aren't happy, especially on the lovely thing we like to call Twitter.
Mm.
But I think that I did see that someone tweeting on Twitter like, "Why are we getting him? We need someone who's young, like a lot younger than that." And I'm going to say it now. I disagree with that massively. We need that sense of someone who's got a good amount of experience under their belt. As you said, is in their prime years. I mean, they don't even have to be in their prime years. As you said, keepers going to 40. I mean, look at when we had Dimmy. He was getting on a bit, and he's still putting a cracking
Well,
performance every week.
exactly.
So, like, we don't need young keepers who, you can build him into a great keeper. No, you need someone, I think, especially now we've got rid of Lumley and, we all know what the situation was around him. We need someone who has that experience. Robert has that in abundance, playing, in League Two and stuff. He got, yes, it's League Two, yes. But, to be honest, who cares really? It's like, as you said, Team of the Year, Player of the Year, Players Player of the Year. If that isn't an impressive resume for a club like us to think, oh, we could snatch him up here and we could help him improve massively, I don't know what is. I think this is a great signing, especially because we've been crying out for a goalkeeper for so long. Like, just like,
Yeah,
I honestly think he is going to be. I honestly think he's going to have a great season next year,
yeah,
especially
and
coming off the back of all those awards. You'll certainly
yeah,
have the confidence. Right, I'm
hundred
stepping up a
percent.
couple of leagues. I'm stepping up a couple of leagues. It's going to be tougher, but I've won all these awards. I'm clearly doing something right. I
Yeah,
think he's going to be
100%.
confident as Larry. I think he's going to do well.
Oh,
Touch wood, anyway.
yeah, touch wood. But yeah, no, 100%. I mean, he knows he's coming in realistically. Like Chris Wilder's told him the situation. He wants to
Yeah.
bring in a first choice keeper. He's been told that he's not necessarily going to be first choice. Obviously, he's going to come in and he's going to try and prove himself. But I think if you've been
We've got to
told,
fight for the first place spot. We've
yeah,
got
of
to fight for that
course,
spot. Let's just
of
fight to be the keeper.
yeah, of course. But I think for him to be clearly told, look, I'm going to bring you in because there's no doubt you've got quality there, but you're not necessarily going to be my first choice keeper. For him to turn around instantly, he came back from his holiday sooner than he was meant to. When he got the phone call knowing that we were interested, he was like, I'm there. And knowing that he's got to step up and that he's willing to work hard proves that not only has he got the ability, but he's got the character in him to,
Mm.
possibly whoever it is that is first choice, he's got the ability to come in and go, you know what? Well, I deserve a place in this team. I'm gonna, even if I'm not first choice, as soon as I'm ready, as soon as I'm there and I'm picked, I'm waiting. I'm ready to snatch my chance.
All right.
And the fact that it's a free transfer as well, it's one of them where it'll it's never going to be looked at as like a deal breaker signing. Do you know what I mean? It's not a headline
Yeah.
like we're spending loads of money on this player and it's exciting and this, that, and the other. But he's one of them signings where it's a very underrated signing and it
Mm.
could prove a really, really astute bit of business. Really astute bit of
Oh,
business.
absolutely. I really think that, I don't think, because obviously it's League Two, Boro fans and Championship fans were like, oh, who's he? That's only because probably you don't watch the league. Anyone who's like a follower of a League Two club after last season will probably know how much of a good keeper that he is. It's just that we don't know it yet. That's the
Exactly.
thing. We need to. Obviously, he needs to fight for that place, and I think it's a great move by Wilder to explicitly tell him, you're not my first choice keeper, because that'll set something off in his head that'll go right. I've come here. It's a bigger club. I've got to fight for that spot, and I'm more than willing to do it.
Yeah. No, I
So
mean, there's
best
less.
of luck to the lad. His interview seemed very promising. He seemed like he was loving it already. So let's just see what happens. But I say the potential's sky high for me. But the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, 100%. I think you make a good point in the sense of Wilder, just being open, being honest from the get go. I mean, that's all the players that have ever worked with him have said that's what he's about. But yeah, I think having been open and being honest with him, it takes the pressure off as well. It means that he, like you say, he can come here, just work his socks off and see what happens. Never know, do you?
Yeah,
Never
we
know.
should,
But
we will only tell.
exactly, time will tell. But strengthening the goalkeeping department as well. Obviously,
Yeah,
Ian Bennett left in the summer, who was brought in by Neil Warnock. Now, it was Chris Wilder said it was nothing necessarily to do with Ian Bennett as such. He respects him as a coach, as a player, and things like that back in the day.
yeah,
But he just thought it was time for freshen up. So heard from Gazette Boro that they actually did speak to Dimmy about the role
yeah. I
potentially.
saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, so they did speak to Dimmy, and then they actually appointed Alan Fettis, who
yeah,
he didn't have the biggest of careers as a player, although he did obviously represent Northern Ireland. But he has been in the Man United academy goalkeeping role
yeah.
for 11 years now. And I mean, for me, if you're at a big club like Man United for 11 plus years as a coach, you're there for a reason.
You're
Do you
doing
know what I
something
mean?
right. You're doing something right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And not only that, he's not just coached the academy, but he's coached goalkeepers like Victor Valdez, Dean Henderson, David De
mm.
Gea, Romero. Do you know what I mean? He's some pedigree that he's coached, but also scouted as well. He's brought in a couple of really
Yeah,
astute signings from lower leagues, especially to Manchester United and the academy. I think that's another one of them that's it's not going to get applauded as a kind of signing. Coaching roles never do when you bring someone in
no,
on a coaching role.
yeah. You're not going
But
to
I
get Jim
think
White talking about a goalkeeper
exactly,
coach.
yeah, on deadline day. But no, I think that's a really really good bit of business. Once again, I think
Absolutely.
yeah, he brings a wealth of experience, a wealth of knowledge, and he's not only coming in to help these goalkeepers train and push them and make them improve as players, but he's coming in helping with recruitment as well. So he could be helping out with the decision on who we bring in for that first choice keeper.
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely. And especially now we've got Roberts, as we said. For him as a coach to have that background. So, I've coached Valdez, I've coached De Gea, I've coached Dean Henderson, all established world class keepers. For him, like with a young prodigy like Roberts, what that could be potentially phenomenal.
oh,
If he brings
100%.
his experience in that, like honestly, that could be amazing.
It's like
I'm
it's
actually,
like
is
his
that,
own
I'm
little
at the stage
project in
now.
itself.
Yeah. I'm at the stage now where the 30th of July cannot come quick enough.
Oh God, no.
Honest to God, I cannot wait just to walk through those turnstiles again. And it's just we're back. We're back.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, next season, right? You can clip this, you can put it on TikTok, you can put it on anything, you can clip this. Next season, Borough fans, is going to be an absolute belter,
oh
and you
God,
can count
yeah,
on me for that. I am so looking forward to this.
yeah. It,
Honestly, next season is going to be class.
it will, and like I say, hopefully we carry the summer on as we've started so far. We've
Oh,
started off really strong. So if we can finish the
judging by what?
transfer off well as well, then
Yeah,
it's anyone's guess, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. Judging by especially like what Wilder said, as well, saying that he's going to be bringing in those big name signings.
Well, that was our
It
next
just
point,
adds.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
It
I know.
adds
Yeah,
that
adds
excitement.
adds adds to it, doesn't it?
Oh,
I'm literally
100%.
shaking in my seat. I'm shaking in my seat because I want the 30th of July to be now. I want it
It's
to be
funny.
now.
Have you ever seen that meme? You know where you laid in bed and you're just staring at the ceiling.
Yeah.
It's like that,
I
and
just
all you're
I can
thinking
just
about is
see
that day
Chris Wilder's beautiful face engraved in my ceiling.
with the trophy
Yeah.
going
Let's
up.
not get ahead of ourselves
No,
though.
let's
Let's
not
let's
let's not get ahead of ourselves. But it's nice to dream, isn't it? Daydream.
Oh yeah, and there's that's another thing I was going to come on to. I know it's not on the list, but you've got all these YouTubers who do their championship predictions and stuff like that. I know I'm going to start doing other stuff, but like I've seen people, everyone seems to be putting Boro very high up the table. Everyone
Oh
seems to be
yeah,
putting
yeah,
Boro
yeah,
to finish first or second.
yeah,
I'm thinking, I'm thinking, get in. Everyone I've seen is putting Boro to finish really high.
yeah.
So, that's another point I was going to make. I didn't add it onto the doc because I couldn't get onto the doc. But, I was going to add it on anyway. If that doesn't say something about how even neutrals are,
Oh yeah, 100%.
bring it on. Bring it on is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Bring
hundred
it on.
percent. Like I said, the people, it- top six minimum is what
Yeah,
expected of us, and whether that's like good pressure or bad pressure, I'm not sure. But either way,
yeah.
it can't be a bad thing, can it? So, like you
Oh,
say, hopefully, we can finish the transfer window as well as we've started, which obviously
absolutely.
leads into our first 5 games. So
Yeah.
obviously the fixtures came out as well a few days ago. We've got West Brom away, not West Brom at home, first game of the season. QPR
Yeah.
away, Sheffield United at home, Stoke City away, and then Reading away. Um,
Yeah.
it's not the easiest of starts. I'm not gonna lie. You know,
It never is in the championship, is it
it's
really? But
no that's very fair point. Every game's tough in the championship, but if you can,
some good games there, though, to get us started, I think.
how many
There's some really
points
good games there.
would you say we're getting out of them first 5?
I'd be happy with around, I don't know, anywhere from I'd say about 9 to 13, because there's 15 max.
Yeah,
I'd say about 9 to 13. I don't expect us to win every game, obviously.
yeah.
But if we could, that would be, brilliant.
No, I
But,
think yeah, I'm with you. I
look
think
at the clubs in there.
yeah.
You've got QPR, who, for the better part of the first half of last season, showed a
Oh God, yeah,
very promising,
yeah, yeah.
look.
They
You've got
missed a lot
Sheffield
of key
United,
players,
obviously.
didn't they?
Yeah. You've got Sheffield United, who are obviously going to be up there. Very unlucky last season. But you've got Sheffield United, who are up there. West Brom as well could potentially be a threat come the end of next season. Stoke, Reading, it's the championship. You never know what could happen.
Yeah,
There's some great games there to start us off and really,
it's it
really
is.
test us, get the new squad in, get the new squad used to
Yeah,
each other. And it's
it's a
great
mixed bag,
challenges as
isn't
well.
it? Yeah, it's a mixed
Yeah,
bag, but it's a challenge, isn't it?
absolutely. And
Because like
that
you
first
said,
home game,
oh God, it'll be
that first home
rocking,
game
won't
is going
it?
to be it's going to be amazing.
If we can sell out there, I would 1,000% back us for a win.
Oh
1,000%.
yeah,
You can get that Riverside
look,
packed, make it like
yeah,
really tough atmosphere for any of them West Brom players to be in.
yeah,
Get it absolutely rocking. Oh yeah,
yeah,
1,000%. Like yeah,
absolutely.
but I'm with you. I would say if we could get a minimum of 9 points, if you can get 3 wins
Yeah,
on the board there, maybe pick up a draw.
yeah.
Got like you say,
Three wins and a
nine or
draw would
more,
still be ideal.
nine
Three
or
wins and a
more.
draw would still be ideal.
Yeah, 9 or more there for me is a good start. I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
if we can, like I say, if we can get the Riverside rocking, first game of the season, I think we'll win that. QPR
Yeah,
away is always a tough away day. Um, Unsure of how they'll start because obviously the new manager coming in.
yeah,
So yeah, I think we could probably win that one. Sheffield
yeah.
United at home,
Tough game.
that'll be a very very tough game. Um, Home advantage,
But again,
but
again at home, yeah.
yeah,
Get the
yeah,
get the Riverside looking for that one.
yeah. And then the 2 away games, both always tough
Mm.
away games. Stoke and Reading, very tough away
Yeah,
games. Stoke have strengthened. They've brought in quite a few good players this summer so far. So
yeah.
it's weird. They've got a
We need
very
to.
good squad. I'm very surprised at how bad how bad they finished last season. I thought they were
Yeah,
going to be up there or thereabouts. I think they're going to be the same this year. And then Reading, obviously, Paul Ince has took over there as
aye,
manager, first team. So, yeah, but
yeah. I was going to say,
hopefully Joe Lumley starts. Hopefully we haven't put that clause in the contract.
yeah,
Hopefully we've said, yeah, no worries, you can play him against us. Well, to be fair, in
yeah.
saying that, if he was allowed, I can guarantee he'd have an absolute worldie of a game, wouldn't he?
Oh, oh yeah,
He
yeah.
would.
And that's what I was going to say as well with with Stoke. You were saying there. I don't think they've been. Everyone expected them when they came down because you've got to look at a couple of years ago. They were an actual proper established Premier League side
Oh
who had
yeah,
been in there for a good few years. And it was like they came down and was like, oh, they're going to be fine. They're going to go straight back up, and things just haven't fell in the right place for them.
yeah,
It's just that's just football at the end of the day. But you say I'm very surprised to see Stoke, and especially in the position that they're in now.
yeah.
That and for those two away games, especially Sheffield, sorry, Stoke and Reading.
Mm.
You know, we need to carry that in, and I've got no doubt that we're going to. I've got no doubt that we're going to sell these away days out, get us all down there as we usually do in the typical Boro fashion. By the way, I want a direct message to the 92 Bible Instagram page for not putting us in the 10 best sets of fans in the country. What are you
Bloody
playing
hell!
at?
I didn't know that.
I know,
I did
I
not
know
know that.
they did a thing top 10 away fans in England, and we didn't even make it. What are you playing at?
That's
What are you
shocking.
playing at?
That actually is
Yeah,
appalling.
so our
So,
away support as well for those two games are going to be crucial,
oh,
and we always have
1,000%,
a good
yeah,
away following,
yeah.
and obviously the excitement as well. Get that excitement in the fans. Get your trains down. Get the away ends rocking. Let's go. I don't know if you can tell, guys, but I am very excited for the new season.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong at all.
Yeah.
Um, but another exciting signing came obviously just after that. Um, Ryan Giles
Oh, I
from
was over the moon. Over the
Wolves.
moon with this one.
Absolutely terrific signing that.
Yeah.
He's only, I think he's only 22, 23. Forget the age. He's still had a huge number of appearances in the Football League. He had
Yeah.
a loan spell. He was at Cardiff.
Yeah.
Did really well there, and he had a loan spell with Blackburn. And
Mm.
in something, I think it was only like 21 appearances. He had something like 9 assists. Yeah, I think the first part of the season, he was, or second part, he had the most assists.
Yeah.
He was
Something
like
like
top
that. Yeah.
top of the leaderboard for assists, which is ridiculous
Yeah.
for a wing back. But he's one of them where, like, I'm not going to go into stats and stuff because I know Boro Breakdown they've done a brilliant few episodes of
Oh, they're
the
great on
different
stuff like
players,
that.
and they've really crunched the numbers on stats. So I'm not going to take any of that away from
Yeah.
them. They do a brilliant job at that. We'll just talk about him as a player and obviously give a bit of an overview. Bella mentioned it on theirs, but he is a really attacking like wing back. It's one of them
Yeah.
where he's got plenty, he's got bags of pace, but he's also got the ability to whip a good ball in. And when I say a good ball, I mean, for me, the last time we had a real good crosser of the ball was Albert Adoma.
Yeah.
Albert Adoma,
100%.
Albert Adoma didn't have bags of pace, but it always amazing crosses. And
Yeah.
that's one thing we've lacked really the last few seasons is when you get into the final third, the you know whether that's a corner or ball in from the edge of the box, it's either not beating the first man or it's being overhit and just a bit
Yeah.
lacking in that area. But also, one thing that we all spoke about last season and Wilder wanted to address was obviously Isaiah Jones was so good on that right hand side. He was fast, he was direct. Whereas on the left hand side, we had either Neil Taylor or Bowler wasn't quite the same when he was back from injury. So we were kind of focusing it down the right hand side and we got found out a bit. All teams had to do was kind of man mark Isaiah Jones, or put two
Yeah.
men on him, and then that was it. That we've got no attack, then we've got no outlet. Whereas if you go down both flanks, you've got the option to bring it back, switch the flank, and go again. But yeah, really direct, quick
Yeah.
player. He's going to offer a lot next season. I think
Oh,
he's going to be brilliant.
yeah. I think, yeah, you said it there. Like with Isaiah Jones being, arguably our only real threat going forward. Especially during the second half of the season when most teams had clocked that he was the danger man and just pretty much put about 3 men on him,
Hmm.
and he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I know we picked up on this, but like, gonna have to have Isaiah Jones on the right hand side, to have Giles on the left hand side. Come on, that's like then that could be amazing.
Oh, it could.
That
As
could
long
be
as long as
amazing.
they both stay fit and they both stay injury
Yeah,
free, if you've got them firing on all cylinders every game, there's absolutely no
yeah,
reason why. I mean, we had one of the highest percentages for like goals created, um,
yeah,
or chances created. But what we lacked was, like I say, that end product, that final ball, um, or just converting them. But
yeah.
if we can have the same as Isaiah created on the right hand side, on the left,
Mm,
you double them amount of chances. That surely then doubles, as long as we bring a decent striker in, that doubles your
mm,
chances of getting more goals. So, yeah,
yeah,
I mean, there's work to be done defensively, and Wilder's admitted that. But the way that we play, it's a proper Wilder signing. I'm so glad that we've got it
yeah,
done, and we've got it done early as well.
yeah. And we've got him now. Some of the names that we've been linked with, I know we'll probably get onto them. We're not going to get on them today, but some of the names we've been linked with, if we can get them as well as the players we've already got,
Oh God, yeah,
jeez, I
yeah.
might just faint. I might just faint if we get these people we're linked with. I might just faint. And honestly, I can't wait. I cannot wait
No,
because
no.
the end of this transfer window for us is going to be so exciting. I'll be sat there with my mug of tea watching Jim White. Is he even on Sky Sports anymore? I don't know. But I'll be sat there with my mug of tea watching Jim White, waiting for these transfers to come through.
Sports director.
I don't think I've ever actually been this excited for the start of the season. I honestly don't think
No,
I've been this excited for the start of the season in a long time.
I know
Like,
it's weird, isn't it? There's a completely different feel about the football club, and
yeah,
I think there's a collective optimism that everyone shares, that everyone can kind of feel. We all know the direction we're going, and whether we go up next season or not, we know that
yeah,
there's progress being made all the time. I
yeah,
think that's why everyone's so positive. Whereas, with previous managers before we were in the Premier League, there's been that uncertainty, that not knowing how long that manager's going to be there for, or the players that he's bringing in are going to be there for. So, yeah, no, it's good, man. It's good. And then next bit, we move on. Solbrin, like we mentioned
yeah,
earlier about the goalkeeping department. I thought for Sol Bryn, I thought he would go out on loan. I did think he would go
yeah,
out on loan, and I think I put that in like one of my threads before, about him going out on loan. He's one of them where he's been there or thereabouts in the first team for years now, in
yeah,
pre-season and stuff, and he's obviously, well, there's no doubt about his ability. He went out on loan to Queen of the South last year, and he was only there half a season before he got recalled. But in that half a season, I think he had player of the month, voted player of the month, and things like that quite a few times.
yeah,
Kept a fair few clean sheets, and he was rated really highly up there. Um, and him joining Swindon is not only a brilliant signing for them, but it's good experience for himself as well.
absolutely.
Swindon are a good team. They're on the up as well. So he'll gain valuable experience over there, and hopefully he can push himself into the first team there as well. Because if he can push himself into the first team, cement his place there, and he grabs valuable experience in the EFL, then there's no reason why in the next few years he can't be pushing. I think, to be fair, when Alan Fettis came in, all that business happened straight after. I think he was in, conversation with the club and said, look, these young players, young goalkeepers, sorry, 21 to 23, these need to be going out. There's no point keeping these guys at the football club at this current moment in time.
Yeah.
They need to be playing regular football, gain experience, come back, and then there's the chance, isn't there, then to prove themselves in the next few years or so.
Yeah, absolutely. I think key word there, experience for him. Young lad, got his, pretty much his whole career in front of him. Experience is vital as a football player. So, like, if he can go there and get some regular game time, he impresses enough, he could have a great future at Swindon, maybe. Or, maybe another club will see him, snatch him up.
Yeah,
It's a great move for the lad because I'm a bit horrible when I say this, but I think that it was the right time for him to go out on loan.
yeah.
I think that, with the current situation, I don't think he was going to be able to fully become a full-on keeper for us. I don't think he was ever going to get that
No,
nod in. And I
not
think
this
that
early.
if he'd stayed here and just continued to be, in contention, second, third, whatever choice, I think that would have got to him eventually. So I think this is, the best time for him to go out. Best of luck to him. We wish him all the best, and hopefully, he can get some vital experience, impress down there. I think Swindon's down south, so and impress down there. So yeah, look, best of luck to him. Looking forward to see how he gets on.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely be keeping a close eye on his performances and how it goes on loan.
Mm.
Yeah, like I say, fingers crossed. But then another incoming. The last one that we'll talk about in terms of players. But one that we briefly touched on earlier about a leader, former Blackburn captain Darragh Lenihan signing a
Mm.
4-year contract. Absolutely unbelievable bit of business for me. That,
Yeah.
for me, genuinely, like, when as soon as we were linked, I've said it time and time again, but he is a player that we have sorely missed. That lack of. I know we had Bamba last season, but in terms of a player that's going to play week in, week out, and
Mm.
Bamba was there when we needed him, and he was brilliant. But we're talking, like I say, he's
We need someone who's going to be
one
there
of the
all the time now.
first name on the team sheet. Like I say, he was captain at Blackburn. He was there something like 11 years. He
Mm.
knows this league inside out. He was probably one of their best players last season. And to put the cherry on the cake, or the icing on the cake, sorry, to get him on a free transfer as well.
Oh.
We're not even talking that we forked out loads of money for him. To sign him on a free transfer,
Mm.
unbelievable bit of business.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. We've been lacking that leader. Obviously we had Solveig, he's obviously not here, so we need a good worthy replacement. And I think this is one of the best deals we could have done. Phenomenal bit of business. I think that he needs to be there. He needs to be keep him fit, keep him up in top shape, tip top shape all the time. Make sure he's there as a leader, as as the guy who motivates everyone. Get him there. Plenty of 11 years at Blackburn. I mean, that's not something to be sniffed at. Fair play to him, but yeah, I honestly think he has a lot of potential. Obviously, we can't say much about these players because we haven't seen them actually play for us yet.
Yeah,
But we can go off from what we've seen, and for Blackburn, he was phenomenal. For us, I've got no doubt he'll do, the same, if not better. So yeah, welcome, Darragh. I'm looking forward to meeting him outside those gates after the first game of the season. I think.
yeah, 100%. I mean, we know, like I say, we only going off what we've seen of him when he was at Blackburn, but we know
Yeah,
Tony Mowbray as well, and we know the type of player that Tony Mowbray likes, the type
yeah,
of player that he values in a side, and for Tony Mowbray to speak so highly of him, really that he's a good player with a lot of good characteristics, good qualities. he's a Republic of Ireland international.
Yeah.
And Chris Wilder wanted to sign him when he was at Sheffield United, turned him down then.
Mm.
But it just shows how long and how much Chris Wilder values him also. And if we're
Yeah.
putting our trust in Chris Wilder, which, I 1000% put my trust in Chris Wilder,
Oh, I am.
in his
I am
ability
100%.
to build. Well, he's done it numerous times over the years with different teams, building promotion worthy teams. He knows what it takes, and I think, like I said, next season he's going to be a key part of that, a key player in the starting 11.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I'm looking forward to see how we get on.
Yeah, definitely bossing the players about, 100%. Next bit of news, Martin Payero. This was actually this morning. If you're watching this now,
Yeah.
it'd probably be Wednesday. So this is Monday. But yeah, this morning there was a video that came out. It was on I think it was like Prime News, I think it was called, over in South America, and he was basically being interviewed on TV, just asking about his situation at Boro, because there was rumours that Boca Juniors had been in touch with him and his agent about
Yeah.
a potential loan move. I know it was mentioned last week about an 18-month loan with the option to buy, but he's basically
Yeah.
came out on the news, and said that that's not the case. He's had no calls or hasn't been in touch with anyone from Boca Juniors, and he basically said to them, "Look, Boro's my club. I'm here. The only thing I've got in front of me is pre-season. I want to go as hard and work as hard as possible in pre-season, and I want to prove myself at Middlesbrough. I want to earn the right to play for Middlesbrough Football Club and enjoy it here. And like I say, work hard and work his way into Wilder's plans in the first team."
Yeah. I love him more already. If I'm being honest, I love him more already. To have a club, I think, isn't Boca Juniors, isn't that Argentina's like probably their biggest football club, isn't it, over there? Or
One of,
one of them, yeah. One of them,
yeah.
yeah. I'm not good with South American, native football teams. Sorry, everyone. But yeah, I think for him to come out and say that nothing's actually happened, and for him to say no, I'm staying at Borough, because we can all agree and say that Martin Piero, everyone didn't exactly. I don't want to say live up to the hype, but you know what I mean. Last
Yeah,
season,
yeah, yeah.
he didn't do as well as everyone thought he would, and for him to have the confidence to say, right, like he knows that last season probably wasn't the best. He's gonna come in. He said he's gonna put 110% in. Fair play to the lad, and let's hope that replicates on the pitch. He gets more regular starts in there because he's a fantastic footballer. He just needs to, I still think he's still getting kind of accustomed to the Championship and to English football, and as you would expect. But I honestly think, let's go Martin Payero is what I'm saying. He's full
Exactly.
speed ahead, and sky's the limit.
Exactly. I think, to be fair, he's got a good manager in the sense of Chris Wilder he's
Yeah,
open to, if a player comes in, he works his arse off and he proves why he deserves a chance in that first team. Chris Wilder's the type of bloke to go, you know what, I appreciate your hard work, and yeah, you've earned the right to have a chance to play in that first team. If you make the most of that chance, then there's no
yeah,
reason why you shouldn't be starting or getting your game, or
Mhm.
take Johnny Howson's place in the side, or whoever it may be that he's challenging for. There's no doubt there's a player in there. Last season he was really, really unlucky with injuries, and there was
yeah,
just no consistency to his season. I know just before Neil Warnock left, we'd won 3 on the bounce. We were in the top 6, and he scored against Cardiff away. And at that
yeah. I
point,
remember
you're
that. Yeah,
thinking, we've got a proper player here that not only is passing, his movement, his link-up play with the strikers. He was
yeah,
talking. He still can't speak much English, but he's talking through his football. And
yeah,
like I said, just after that, he got another injury, and then he came back from injury, was on the pitch for 10 minutes, probably not even that, 5 minutes, went into a tackle, QPR away, and then he's out for like the rest of the season.
Oh,
So it's one of
that
them
still gives me.
where, it's one of them where he was just really unlucky last season, and like you say, getting used to the physicality and how tough
Yeah,
it is. It just shows. But yeah, if he can stay injury free and he can work his ass off in pre-season,
yeah.
like I say, there's absolutely no reason. Like he's got all the tools there to be a good player and
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
to play. Yeah, like you say, with 5 subs as well. Anything can. We need one, the squad depth, and two, like a plan B, someone that can create something out of nothing. And you keep Piero, you've then got Piero, McGree, Tav, Crooks. You've got all these creative players that can play
A
in that similar
dangerous
role.
attacking
Oh, it's
line, that
it's
like
dangerous. It really is dangerous. And then
backed
you
up
think
with Giles and Jones,
Jones, and then
and then
Housen just in behind.
strikers, Housen, and then the strikers as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We could
Because
easily be the team to be reckoned with next year.
100%, you've got, like I say,
100%.
you've got talent in abundance there. But like I say, a lot of players that can make something out of nothing. So
Yeah,
if we can stay fit, injury free, I think if Wilder managing well, he'll understand that his injuries last season. They'll have a look into that and what was causing them injuries. And yeah, I think if we can manage him well, use him in certain games, he could be the difference.
mm,
So yeah, time will tell with Piero, but no, it's a good attitude to have, really good attitude to have.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, um, but that brings us into our last bit of news, which also came out today. He's magic, you know. Just watch
Just watch
Leopard
Let
go.
go.
I
Our
apologize
debut on
to
Spotify
anyone.
is coming very soon, ladies
I,
and gentlemen.
I apologize to anyone right now that's listening to that. Or,
Oh,
if
mate, there is music executives, Spotify bosses are lining up at the door waiting to sign
oh
us.
God, we need to go on the Voice. We should go on the Voice. OurMFC Voice.
Get Ben involved. Get Ben
Yeah.
involved as well.
Oh, it might give us one of his prizes. But yeah, if you didn't catch our drift there, then I don't know where you've been. You've been under a rock. But the news was that Grant Ledbetter has returned to the club. Obviously,
Hmm.
of recent time, he's a Boro legend of recent time.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously captained the Boro. Was there when we went up that promotion season. Was through the Premier League. He left to go back to Sunderland. Was there a few years. And last year he was doing his getting his UEFA coaching badges. So he's joined the club as an individual development coach, and he's kind of going to support the academy and just
Hmm.
help out around the ground that way. I know Craig Liddell, who's the academy manager, said he was absolutely over the moon to have Ledbetter
Yeah.
down. I think he was there last season. He's been at the club quite a few times, kind of like on work experience, getting his coaching badges.
Yeah.
But I mean, to have Grant Ledbetter and Lee Cattermole in as academy coaches, that is one, pure shithousery, and two, well, because you remember that picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everyone will know the reference. If you haven't, if you don't know the reference, go check our socials out because you'll see it on there. Um, but yeah, brilliant addition.
Yeah. For a man like Ledbetter, who, as of recent years, probably knows his club inside out. You know, as of recent years, Borough legend, as you already said, captain us to promotion, captain us to a playoff final the season before. One of the penalty merchants, as I like to call him as well, absolute legend on the penalty spot. That free kick against Huddersfield as well will never ever be
Oh
forgotten.
God,
Thank
yeah,
you,
from
fans.
like 40, 50 yards out.
Yeah, but yeah, to have that experience, especially because of a man who knows the club inside out recently, to pass that on, his knowledge to the young players. As a young player, you can't complain at that really.
No,
So,
not at all.
you know,
You've
and
got
especially with Lee
experience
Cattermole as
in that
well.
crowd. Yeah, you've got them
Lee
two
Cattermole who has
players.
experience with us, who has experience with us in Europe, for Christ's sake. Like, you know what I mean? It's a
Well,
great
exactly.
it's a great it's a great combination. Let's just hope they don't start scrapping each other on the training field, which they probably won't. They probably won't.
No, not all.
But
They
make sure.
definitely won't. They'll be fine. They'll
Nah.
get along. Well, they'll have to. Otherwise, Steve Gibson will sort them out. But yeah, like I said, there's experience in abundance there. They've both played,
Yeah,
like I said, they've both played at the highest level for years as well. Valuable experience, but good players as
yeah,
well. Good players. And they'll offer them younger players coming through something to look up to, but also, hopefully that brings through some more leaders, some more players that have got a bit of fire in the belly. Players coming through nowadays, they're a bit shy, a bit. Do you know what I mean? You don't see too
yeah,
many talkative youngsters that are assertive and will just come into the game and show what they're about. So hopefully, I mean that for us brings. I'd be very surprised to not see any players come through knowing that they've been coached by them with no
yeah.
fire in the belly, no fight about them.
Oh no,
So I think there's going to be plenty of players coming through like that.
yeah, definitely,
But
definitely
yeah,
great play for them.
exactly. But yeah, that's going to round up this week's kind of transfer episode news around the club. Um, Hope you've all enjoyed it. We certainly have. It's been a really, really strong week for the club. Hopefully, like I say, we can carry this on, keep moving forward, and end the season, end the transfer window. Sorry, end it really well, really strong. Like I say, if we can make some of them signings that we've been linked to, it's looking really, really positive. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, thank you for joining me, Matty. Appreciate it.
no worries, mate. Pleasure as always.
If you are obviously watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Really appreciate it. We're nearly at 500, so if we can get
Oh.
500, that would be amazing. We'd really appreciate that. Obviously, if you listen on the podcast, give us a follow and leave a review. We don't have many, and that's nothing on you guys, but it just lets us know what your thoughts are on the podcast, what we could maybe improve or do better. So yeah, just let us know. Yeah, that'd be really, really much appreciated. And yeah, we'll see you next week in the next episode.
Catch you later.
See you later.